Hello, hello. Welcome to Lunchtime with Liz. I'm super excited to share this card with you today because I just think it's a little bit extra fun. So this is today's card. Check this out. I just started playing around with this. I have a class later on today with this, and I started playing around with this, and it just screams springtime and smiles and happiness, and I just love it. And I can't say that I'm a huge gardener per se, but I do love to look at flowers, and I think they're pretty, and I'm going to attempt planting some vegetables and flowers from seeds today. We'll see. We'll see how that goes. But anyway, this was fun. This was fun to play with, so this is what I'm going to share with you today. Okay? All right, so the items I'm using the brick and mortar embossing folder. This is a 3D, which just means it's super thick embossing folder. I'll be using the Flowering Rain Boots bundle, which is this stamp set. And then there's Rain Boots dies that go with all of these pieces, and that is in the mini catalog. I will be using this tailored tag punch. The colors I'll be using today are Old Olive, Mango Melody, Calypso Coral, Cinnamon Cider, and Gray Granite. Okay, so those are the 5 colors that I'll be using. And I think that's it, other than adhesive, of course, and a pair of scissors. My paper pieces that I need today, my white will be the background. So it's just a piece of basic white cardstock. And then I have an Old Olive piece of cardstock that is 4 1/8 by 5 3/8. And then a piece of white cardstock that is 4 by 5 1/4. Okay, so let's get started. I'm going to go ahead and just fold this piece in half to get our base. Okay. My white piece I'm going to run through the embossing folder. So let me pull this in front here. And remember, when you're not sure like what pieces to use, because it comes with all this, the cut and emboss machine comes with the base, and it comes with these pieces, and sometimes it's like I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing and using. It's awesome because right here on the base it tells you. Using with 3D embossing folders, you're going to use number 1, plate 1, which is here, and then plate 4, which right here says plate 4. Okay? I just dropped a piece on the floor. Hang on. Okay. So I'm going to take this here, and I'm laying this paper inside. Close that up, and I'm putting plate 4 on top. And excuse my arm as I run this through. I'll get rid of that there. And here we go. Look at this. Love it, love it, love it. Embossing folders are fantastic. Okay, so you have brick and mortar. It looks like a brick building. I'm going to set that aside for a minute, and I don't need that anymore. And just to go ahead with put this together, I'm going to take this brick and mortar piece and we're going to put this right on top of the Old Olive. I made this just a very tiny border. I just wanted a little bit of a border sticking out, so it's definitely not as big of a border as I normally do. Okay. Go ahead and stick this to the base. You guys seeing that there? Good. If anyone has tips for helping me plant seeds, in my house ahead of time, if you have experience with that, feel free to shoot me a message, because I'm definitely going to be learning. So anyway, that's that. All right, so far that's what we have. I'm going to set that aside for now as we build the rest of it. And let's put this one down here. We're going to put this here. Okay, now to save a little bit of time, I went ahead and took the stamps that I've already stamped. I stamped the pots here in cinnamon cider. I stamped flowers in the mango melody. I had already stamped the calypso coral flowers, so I do have calypso coral flowers also. And then I stamped the watering can in the gray granite. And I wanted 3 of the pots, so I did 3 on there. If you space them out a little bit, you can cut out a bunch of things at one time. And then this one's a little bit different. I stamped all of these on white paper. It's really a preference. I went ahead and stamped the stems with the Old Olive on Pear Pizzazz green to make the stems all green, so there's not any white in there. But if you wanted to, you could stamp the stems right on white paper too. But I did Old Olive on top of Pear Pizzazz green, okay? And I just went ahead and stamped those ahead of time just to save a little time here. So then I can take these and I can put multiple things on here at one time. Let's see, let's just do that one for now. Okay, and then I can, look at this one. I think this one looks like French fries, right? Okay, so I'm gonna lay this on top. Are you guys seeing that in there? Let's move this up a little bit so you can see what I'm doing here. I'm gonna lay this on top. And I'm gonna lay the watering can piece on top there, and then we're gonna do one of these flower pots. Okay. I find it much easier to keep things from sliding. We used to have a magnetic plate. The magnetic plate has not come out for the cut and emboss machine. To keep things from sliding, I set it down up here first and then lay it down gently. So then it's not sliding across the whole board. All right, and then I'm going to go ahead and crank that through. Sorry about the arm there, guys. All right, so now I have one pot here. I have a watering can, and I have the stems. All right, I still need to do a couple more. I'm going to go back now here. I need to do, I'm going to get rid of this. I need to do the flowers. So we're going to lay this on top of these flowers. I need to do a pot, and I'll have to do one pot a third time. We'll lay that on top. Lay down gently, and let's crank that through. A couple nights ago, I was reminded we lost power at our house for a little bit. It wasn't very long, but for a little bit, and I was in the middle of crafting, and I was just again reminded why I am so thankful that we do not have an electric cutting machine, because the power went out and I just put some candles on, and it wasn't real dark out yet when it happened, and I could still see, and I could still use my cut and emboss machine without having to have power. So that was great. So let me put this through. We're going to do one more pot here. This almost reminds me of paper dolls, what I'm going to be doing. Doing all this piecing, which is just fun. All right, let's set that aside. We're all done with that. All these pieces, we're going to get these all out of here. Oh, you know what I didn't do? We need a rake. All right, let me do a rake. There's not a rake stamp, but there's a little rake here. I'm going to grab like a scratch piece of paper, and we're going to cut out a rake, because we need it's probably not a rake. It's, I don't know what you would call it, like a hand rake, a little, I don't know. Again, I said gardening's not necessarily my thing, although I try. So whatever that little mini rake is that you use. All right. Let's pull that out of here, and look at this. How cute is that? Okay. All right. One thing I did not say that I was going to be using, and I will be using, is a blender pen. Okay. So I'm going to use the blender pen. Let's do this first. I'm going to take my little rake thing here, put that on the side. I'm gonna open this up. Let's get rid of any extra color that's on here. I'm gonna pick up color right from the ink pad, and I'm taking my rake and I'm doing this like the metal part of the rake. I've seen these little rakes like almost any color, so really whatever you want to do it, but I'm gonna make that metal part the gray. Okay. Now I'm going to get rid of that color, and then let's grab the Calypso Coral. I'm going to make the handle coral color. Okay, and that's it. That's my handle, that's my rake. And we'll get rid of the blender pen here. Okay, and there you go. That's the rake. Set that aside from it. And now we're going to just start building a little bit. I want to have the pots. If you look at my sample, and look how these pots are on top of each other, but they're individual pots. So there's probably multiple ways you can do that, but I'm going to show you how I did mine. I'm going to grab a little pair of scissors, and I'm going to cut just maybe 1/8 of an inch in, right above, if you can see that, I'm going to go right above the line, and then 1/8 of an inch on the other side and cut up. Okay, so this is what it looks like. And then I can take the other pot here and slide that right in that space. So now it looks like the one pot is inside the other. All right, so I'm going to put some adhesive on the back here. And take this other pot. And I'm kind of tilting it so it's not straight up and down, but however you want to do that. Okay, so now it's stuck together, and now it looks like it's just one pot inside the other. Okay. All right. And then what I did is this rake is so tiny, it's really difficult to get adhesive on the back of that. So you can try, you could use a little dot of glue, but I just like the liquid glue. I don't like when it oozes out. So I usually, if it's really tiny like that, I'll either use an adhesive sheet on the back when I'm cutting it out, or what I'm going to do in this case, I'm actually going to take this other pot, I'm going to put some adhesive on the back here. And then I'm going to take this rake so that it's like peeking out from the back. Like that. So I'm going to stick that on there, and then you don't have to worry about any adhesive being on that little piece. And then I'm just going to take that and just set that there. Okay? Then you don't have to worry about adhesive on there at all. Let's take the double pot here. And we'll put that in here. All right, now this is the way the stems come out. This works great if you're doing the boots. I can show you another time. The boots, you're gonna need a double stem like this. For this, look at this, see? That stem's gonna stick out beyond the pot. So when you're doing the pots, you don't want all that. So you just take your scissors and trim off the side stems. So I'm going to do that on both of these because you will need the double set of stems if you're doing the boots that are in the stamp set. I don't need that at the moment, so we're cutting off the side stems, so you end up with this. So I'm going to take this and this one, and you want to, don't put it on the top here because then it's not going to look like it's in the pot. You want to move it down so that they look like they're coming out of the pot. Okay. Now the flowers again, remember the flowers, remember we had the stems that extended. So the flowers are made to extend for the whole thing also, but we cut off these. So we need to cut off the flowers that go with that also. So I'm just cutting off the two side flowers. Okay. I don't need those two there. And then these I'm going to take dimensionals and put on the back. The little mini dimensionals work really well for this because they are tiny. I'm actually kind of just cutting pieces of dimensionals that I have here. Okay. What do you think, guys? Are you falling in love with this bundle yet? If you do not have it, it's just fun. I don't know what else I can say about it, but I was happy. It made me happy working with it. Okay. So I'm going to take this and they go over each of those stems. Put that there. So yes, these are on dimensionals, just the flowers. Everything else is flat. Look at that. All right. So we need to add our watering can. I add the watering can, overlapping everything just a little bit. Okay, and then the words. I took the words and I did the words in Calypso Coral. And let's see. Where are the words that I use? Okay, this is the words I use. I did, our friendship is naturally beautiful. And I'm stamping this in Calypso Coral. Straight down, straight back up. And I'm going to use this tailor tag. Punch that out. We're going to put some adhesive on the back. And I'm going to add this right up top. And there we go. And that's the card for today. What do you think? So I hope you enjoyed that. Hope that gave you some good ideas. And feel free to comment below. Share the video if you liked it. And I'll talk with you later. Have a great day. Bye-bye.